Well, that's the problem. Like, you know, California legalized recreational marijuana, and
Sessions.
yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't. No, he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
He literally is on record saying that good people don't smoke marijuana.
Yeah.
What about drink scotch?
There you
Do good
go.
people drink scotch?
Yeah.
What about cigars? Do good people smoke cigars, Jeff?
And
How's that work?
And I think that's, you know, if you look at it, I think young people know what side of history they want to be on. Like, we all know it's going to be legalized.
Yeah.
We all know it's going to be there. It's going to be, like, say, 3 years, maybe 5 years. And then all this shit, all those people in jail don't have to be in jail. All this money, all this tax money could go in. Look at what happened in Colorado. All the cartels, all this stuff. It's just, like, it's going to happen. So anybody who comes along and says, nope, fuck that, you're like, well, you're on the wrong side of history, brother.
Well, he's left it up. What Trump has said is that he's going to leave it up to the states. So if he leaves it up to the states, it's just going to go across the country. And then what are they going to do federally? Once it becomes state legal everywhere, and then the federal government still says it's illegal, what do they do then? I mean, do they change then? Because
Well, they
the
have
DEA
to change the law because of the money. They have to change the law because in Colorado, it's legal, but you can't, you know, bank it. You know,
it's a fucking mess.
It's a mess. They have armored cars and guys with guns.
I know
and
a lot of
cash
guys who are former SEALs, and you know, guys who work for Blackwater, and now they're fucking holding guns at weed shops because they got $1 million in cash in the back.
Which is bad enough with one state, but when it's 20 states, you got like
not only that, I mean, how
armies.
many fucking places in that state? Think about one state. How many mercs do you have running around those places?
Houses and the banking, and it all has to be cash business.
You have to grow your own shit in Colorado too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You're not buying it from somebody. You have to grow it if you're selling it. So the whole they're creating a dangerous situation, and people have already been robbed.
Correct.
And you know, the whole thing, to me, it was really disappointing when the DEA didn't change the classification from Schedule 1 in August. Like they had the opportunity. All the evidence was there. They know the evidence is there, and they fucking lied about it.
Yeah.
And this is under Obama.
Also, the problem with that is because it's Schedule 1, you can't do research on cancer, you know, all of the CBD stuff that you know that's coming out now.
Where it's not psychoactive, which is so important.
Correct.
For people who have issues like arthritis. And I had Joe Valtellini here, who's a former kickboxing champion. He's a commentator now for Glory. He told me that he was locked in a room after one of his concussions from his last fight, locked in a room in the dark for 3 weeks because you couldn't even see the light on the power button on a cell phone to charge a cell phone, like the little red light where it shows you that would give him a headache. And so CBD oil cured him of that. And it's currently illegal.
And that's the thing is, again, what side of history do you be on? Like, we know all of this stuff. We know where it's going.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we slowing down now?
Well, it's a bunch of old people. That's really what it is.
So.
It's a bunch of old people who don't get high, and you know, and they're scared of it. And instead of looking at it pragmatically, objectively, looking at the science, they're looking at it like some goddamn 1950s episode of Dragnet.
Exactly.
You know, Joe Friday's coming in. Pot is for losers.
It's frustrating.
Are you a loser, Mickey? You know, it's like that's really what's going on. It's very strange.
Yeah. Yeah, we did this story. You know the kings of cannabis? You know these guys? They're like the seed hunters. They fly around the world and they find like the best seed strains.
No.
And then they go back to Holland and they make, like, they won the Cannabis Cup like 6-8 years in a row. They did White Widow.
Let me tell you something about the Cannabis Cup real quick. I was one of the fucking judges.
Oh, there you go. Well, you know
Cup.
These guys are two Dutch guys.
I don't know these guys because I only did it once and I'll never do it again. It's a farce. Okay, this is what they give you. They give you, you know how those old ladies that take pills, like if you're like someone has to take your arthritis medication and you have like 7 days and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, those little things. Yeah. They give you one of those. Each one of those things has weed, and you just start fucking smoking.
And
you're off to the races. You have no idea. After the first couple of hits, you're on Pluto.
This one's great.
And you're just fucking hammering it, and then everybody's talking in this like ridiculous jargon. They're like, "Oh, this is really tasty." They're a fucking super annoying and stinky, and they're talking about the cannabis community. I had this weird conversation with this one dude.
Who won when you judged?
Who the fuck knows? I don't even know who I voted for. I have no idea. I was so high afterwards. I was having out of body experiences because people were giving me cookies and candies. It was one of, if not the highest, one of the highest I've ever been in my life. Maybe the highest. Because we were at this place on Melrose. It was a head shop, and in the back they had this pot thing, and it was just filled with fucking people, and there's no ventilation, just filled with pot smoke. And
this is in Amsterdam?
This is in Los Angeles.
Oh, Los Angeles.
Yeah, they did it in L.A.
Oh, shit.
And they're passing around bongs and pipes and cookies and cakes, and they had security there to make sure no one would come, and you know, they had it all blocked off. And everything. They did a smart job, like the way they handled it. But as far as like actually judging what's the best pot, get the fuck out of here. No one has any idea. It's like giving you 7 glasses of whiskey and then telling you to drink some wine. What wine do you like, Shane? You're like,
that's generally how it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's how most of our podcasts are.
That's it.
Yeah, man, I judged it, and it was, I don't remember what I judged. I don't remember what the pot was like. I was a poor judge, and everybody else is a poor judge too. But I'm being honest about it. It's a joke.
There you go.
If you wanted to judge you wanted to have a real cannabis cup, you would give someone a strain for a week, and then give them another strain for a week, and make them keep a journal, and then make them send in that journal. Like, this is my experience on this. This is how much I smoked. This is what it felt like. Body high, you know, head high.
Or
blah,
if
blah,
it's
blah.
too fucking strong, some of that shit is like acid.
Yeah.
You like that?
That's my stuff. Yeah. It's getting to a strange place now for sure.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting to me is when people who don't smoke it, then I get to see. Because our tolerance is so high because we smoke it. I smoke it almost every day. At least 5 days a week I probably smoke weed. Yeah. So when I see people that try it for the first time, and you see that terrified look in their eye where they're confronted with their own mortality, and they feel the earth spinning, and they're like, Jesus.
I've got a question for you, Mr. Smoker.
Okay.
Because my problem is I'm an ex-smoker, not an ex-weed smoker. I'm a current weed smoker. I'm an ex-smoker.
Right.
And so smoking always makes me want to smoke cigarettes, A. B, so I do like, you know, they have all the different things now. The one I like is this high CBD sort of, but it gets you high still, the honey, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fucking awesome.
Whatever you need, I can get.
Okay, but the thing is, but I got a question because I was thinking about this the other day because I'm like reading all about you know how it stops cancer and this is great for this and great for that and all this other stuff. So I'm like, fuck yeah. But isn't smoking it still bad for you?
No, apparently not. And
Who's saying
actually,
that, though?
Scientists.
Right.
It actually acts as an expectorant on your lungs. It's actually good for people that have emphysema. It's actually good for people that have issues with their lungs, which is really strange.
Really strange.
Asthma, really good for asthma. Dilates
if you're smoking
the lungs.
weed.
Yeah, crazy.
Right.
Doesn't seem to make sense.
No.
Much better though, because smoking is still kind of harsh, but the effect of the cannabis smoke is not toxic the same way cigarette smoke is. And one of the reasons why cigarette smoke is toxic is not just the tobacco, which is toxic. 599 fucking chemicals or whatever the hell it is now. Marijuana users have good lungs for transplanting. So if you get high, walk off a building. Whoops, man. Yeah, your lungs are good. But you don't have to smoke it. Here's what I'm down with. These fucking things that I got charging right here. These vape pens. Some of them suck. Because some of them, the ones that look like an e-cigarette, those suck. They don't have enough juice. They're not powerful enough. You want one that has a really good pull.
There you go. That's got some.
Because these get you high, like getting high.
Right.
Whereas the other ones, you got to keep hitting them over and over and over and over again to get high.
Right.
These motherfuckers get hot because that battery's fat. See how fat that battery is? It's much fatter. The other ones, when you get the ones that are skinny like this, the other problem with the ones that are skinny is you get a lot of duds.
Right.
Like they're making a lot of them in China. Sorry, China. But a lot of them suck, man. Like my friend Gino, who sells me everything, he gave me 4 pens, and 3 of them were duds.
Really?
3 out of fucking 4 were duds. They just didn't work.
If it was all legal, then
exactly.
You know,
Quality control.
Quality control.
Yeah. Well, they were packaged. See, the whole deal is that they're packaged already, and when you're getting these ones that are pre-packaged, like you throw them away when they're done. It's very wasteful. So this, you just get this little cartridge, you slide the cartridge into this big fat battery thing, and bam!
You're there.
Off to the races. Want some?
No.
Scared?
Oh,
Don't be scared.
It's being a good boy.
It's a good time, man. It's a good time for that. And it's a good time for people to do, well, the problem is federal research is still impossible. You know, doing real hardcore research on, you know, large-scale research nationwide.
And we should be going, anything that shows some promise re-cancer, we should be going whole hog after, and the fact that we're not is just ridiculous.
I'm worried that he has Trump has such incredible connections to money. And that, you know, all the good parts that's going to come from that, like his no-nonsense approach to infrastructure, wanting to rebuild a lot of things, put a lot of people to work because of that, and a lot of people benefit from that. What scares me is that money connection with the pharmaceutical companies who have just gone way, way out of their way to just try to stifle marijuana research at every possible turn and legalization at every possible turn. And it's just criminal. What they do is awful, you know. Because when you make something illegal, it's not just making something illegal, which is why I had to like drill this into the head of a friend of mine who was pro-Hillary, and you know, he's asking me why I'm upset with her, and I said, look, dude, there's a fucking email that was leaked, the WikiLeaks email that said she's against marijuana in every sense of the word. This was she was making a promise to some organization. I don't remember who it was, but they were asking her what is her stance on marijuana. She's against it in every sense of the word. How could you be? That's like saying I'm against peanut butter in every sense of the word. You know, like, what are you, a monster? You want people to go to jail for peanut butter? You know, like, the problem is it's not just that you don't like it, which I'm fine with. The problem is you can make people get locked in a cage. That's a crime. It's a crime. We know this is innocuous. Like, I just hit it. We're having a conversation. There's no problems. This is not some devil weed. It's not going to ruin lives. I pay taxes. I have a family. Everything's fine. I wake up when the alarm goes off. It's all, we're being fed bullshit. And when someone who's in the position of running for president, like Hillary, says something crazy like that, she's against marijuana legalization in every sense of the word, that means people are going to go to jail. That means people are going to get shot. That means more Mexican drug gangs are going to ship more illegal product over here. The more
no research is being done.
No research is being done. People are going to die from cancer that don't have to die. People are going to get diseases they don't have to get.
But this is my problem. Because, again, it's what side of history do you want to be on? And I think that most people who grew up the way we did it, or sane people, are just saying, what the fuck?
Exactly.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly.
Come on.